Well, just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the stock market is bouncing back. It's currently 3:39 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have the S&P 500 up 0.8%. We have the Russell up 1%. We have the Nasdaq up 1.4%, and we have the Dow up 0.4% as the VIX is down 5%. So hit the like button, subscribe. We're going to break down some stocks and the markets in this video. Make sure to also get your 2 stocks from Webull and your $50 from M1 Finance, and join my Patreon if you want all my buys, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. All of that's linked down below, and let's get right into the video. So let's take a look, guys. We have some live action right now as the markets are still live. We have 20 minutes left until the closing bell, and it seems like on the intraday chart that SPY is having yet again one of those days where we sold off a bit in the pre-market and at market open, but then we started seeing a huge push to the upside, and that's actually what happened yesterday for the most part. If you guys remember, we sold off very aggressively in the pre-market yesterday and once the markets open, and then we bottomed at about 10:50 a.m. on the East Coast, and then we rallied for the rest of the day. And believe it or not, that's kind of what happened today. We bottomed at about 10:50 a.m., which is nuts. We bottomed at about 462, and then we rallied all the way to about 469, which is where we're trading right now. And the fact that we took out not only the highs from pre-market today, which took out the highs from yesterday, but we also are trading at a multi-day high right now, a 2-day high right now for SPY. And I personally have my alert set at 470. If we start getting out of that point of resistance, which is right by the 180 SMA on this 20-day chart, and you guys can see on the 4-hour chart, it's right above, or rather below, the 50 SMA. If we start getting above 470, that is where a clear-cut reversal will be occurring, to the point where we might be going back to test all-time highs towards the top of this channel. So believe it or not, even though we've seen a lot of volatility, a lot of red, the chart still looks pretty good on this time frame here, and the uptrend is continuing as of now, guys. Keywords, as of now. And when it comes to Triple Q, which tracks the NASDAQ 100, this also looks really good. Do you guys remember the key level that I was talking about before we even got under the key level? It was 378 to 380, right? We got under that point, like I just said. We got all the way down to 369. And if I pull up this 5-day chart, you can see yesterday we bottomed at about 369, and we rallied all the way to back over 380 by the time the markets closed, which is nuts. And the fact that we pulled back this morning, we double bottomed on 380, 378, which, mind you, is a huge level, and we ripped, and now we're in the mid 380s. This is a very good sign that Triple Q is trying to reverse. And on top of that, we're noticing an inverse head and shoulders here on the 5-day chart, which I actually did cover in the Patreon video this morning, which, if you guys sign up to the top tier, I post morning videos every single trading day there, going over the markets in the morning, what I'm doing, news, all that good stuff, different stocks as well. So check it out if you guys want to on Patreon, link down below. And yeah, this is playing pretty well for the bulls. I mean, the bears, not so much. They've lost money the past day and a half, but the bulls are finally starting to see some green right now. So keep your eyes on Triple Q. Keep your eyes on SPY, the VIX, of course, which is currently down about 4.4%. And the reason why we rallied, I should have said this 2 minutes ago, but I'll say it now, is because Powell sounded way more dovish today. If you guys saw, as a part of his confirmation hearing before the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, that was today, and I watched, I think it was about 2.5 hours long, 2.5 hours. I watched about an hour, a good hour of it. He talked about how a lot of the same that we've been hearing, right? Powell expects a series of interest rate hikes this year, maybe 3, maybe 4. 4 might be a surprise, along with other reductions and the extraordinary help the Fed has been providing during this era in terms of quantitative easing, buying bonds, and so forth. And a lot of questions were good. A lot of them, the people there were pressing him about, what was this one guy saying about how the Fed should be separate from, the different parties. It's a separate entity. They were talking about reducing the balance sheet, putting some, giving him some good questions, giving Powell some good questions. And it was interesting. He also said as we move through this year, if things develop as expected, we'll be normalizing policy, meaning we're going to end our asset purchases in March, which is creeping up, guys, meaning we'll be raising rates over the course of the year, probably after the tapering ends. And we all knew this, right? And at some point, perhaps later this year, we will start to allow the balance sheet to run off, and that's just the road to normalizing policy. So it's not like Powell said anything different today, but I guess his delivery was more dovish, and delivery is everything, guys. Delivery is everything. If you sound very harsh, you're very, in other words, hawkish, if we're looking at, from a Fed's perspective, if you sound harsh or you're doing this, that, you're very hawkish, the market's going to take it and they're going to sell off. We've seen it happen before. And today, nothing really different happened, but the delivery was a bit better. It's he sounded more dovish, and the markets are running with it. And I can't complain. A lot of my stocks are doing pretty well today. SoFi is up 4.3%. We have PayPal up 5%. Coinbase is up 5%. We have Activision up about 4%. So great day across the board today. Thanks to Powell. And it's crazy. It's crazy. We'll see how things unfold. These markets are insane. So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment. Hit the like button. Subscribe. And now let's talk about some stocks. Number one is Roblox, ticker symbol RBLX, and this is one that I have been looking a little bit deeper into, and I have to dive even more into it as more of a longer-term play. You guys can see here Roblox RBLX is down from $141 to about $88, $89, which is a drop, I believe, of something like 35%, 37%. And whenever a company that's growing this much and they have a lot of future prospects, we're not going to break the company down completely in this video, but they're growing a lot. They have a huge audience, which is the very young demographic. When I talk to my cousins, my little cousins, all of them talk about Roblox. We're just going to leave it at that. And they play all these games, and I've done research. Roblox is solid, in my opinion. And now that it's down 40%, very high-growing company, I think there's a big future. It's time for me to start looking deeper into it. And if it starts coming down to, let's say, 50% drop from the all-time high, even better. And you guys can see the different trend lines that I've drawn out here, different support, resistance levels. Let's go over those right now. Number one, at the top here, we have $102, which we're clearly about $14, $15 under that right now. And number two, we have $90, which is the current resistance that we're facing right now. $90 was resistance back in August, back in September, and just recently, a couple of days ago. So I'm thinking in the very short term, if Roblox breaks $90, it might fill the gap up to that first trend line, which is at about $104. It could easily do that, and I don't want it to do that, quite frankly. Selfishly speaking here, I want it to go down. But being realistic, the market doesn't care what I want. If it does break $90, $92, there's probably going to be momentum up to $100, $105. And if I were to have it the way I want it, which would be awesome, I would have Roblox go down to the third trend line here, which is $69 to $70 per share. That's been pretty much the support ever since the middle of May. So that would be an even better price. I mean, imagine getting Roblox from $89 to $70. That is a drop of, let's see here, 21%. So it would have to go down another 20%. And I would for sure be buying there. I would definitely be buying. So keep your eyes on Roblox. Airbnb is another one. This one went up 4.6%. It's currently up 4.6% today. And I'm noticing the start of potentially a double bottom for the stock. Potentially. It's not quite yet confirmed, but we're seeing a double bottom and we're slowly starting to break out, but we're not full-fledged breaking out quite yet. If we start getting out of probably 175, 180, hence why I have my alert at 180. If we start getting out of that 180 moving average. We start breaking 170s. This could probably start gaining some steam towards $200 again. I think overall, as long as we hold above 160, 165, which we are now, and we start breaking out, this could start gaining momentum towards that level. So keep your eyes on Airbnb. Google is another one, GOG, which today, big tech's doing well, guys. Google's up 1%. Apple is up 1.5%. We have Amazon up 2.3%, which is a great day for Amazon. We have Meta up a whopping 1.6%, with Microsoft up about 0.2%. So Microsoft is dropping the ball today, and by the looks of it, this chart looks good. I mean, even though Microsoft dropped the ball today, the chart still looks pretty good. Take a look how Microsoft is fighting to hold the uptrend, which it is as of now, and if it does start seeing a run to the moving averages, we have about $10, $15 per share upside in the short term with Microsoft. And going back to Google, same thing. You guys can see it's holding the bottom of the channel. The uptrend's continuing. We're breaking out, and we're up over 1% today. If this starts going to the moving averages, we got another $100, $125 in the tank for this stock. So watch out for the upside in big tech here. It's starting to form. We're not fully breaking out yet, but we are showing some nice initial signs there. And Marvell is looking pretty good as well. MRVL. This one's up 4.3% today. And we actually called this out a couple of weeks ago before it went on this ridiculous tear, which is why you guys got to subscribe. Very important. Make sure to subscribe, because we call this out at about $68, $70, and I know you guys that watch my videos remember that. And then after earnings, they went all the way to the mid-90s, and just now, a couple of weeks later, they're starting to cool off from $93. They just hit $78 again. Now they're back in the mid-80s as we are breaking, as of now, back over the 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and we're about to test, well, we are testing the 50 moving average. So at this point, guys, if we break that 50 moving average at about $86, I'm going to put my alert right there for Marvell. Let's do that now together, $86. If we break out of there, this is probably going to start going to the mid-90s again. We might have another $8 to $10 upside. So this looks good. Uptrend's continuing. And same with the next one, UNH. UNH is holding the uptrend. Today it's up 0.9% as the Dow is up. What's the Dow up? 0.4%. So UNH is outperforming the Dow. And like the previous one, Marvell, this one is also holding an uptrend. Look at that. We bounced above the 180 moving average. We are slowly breaking out of the highs from the end of October, early November, which is great for the bulls. Now we got a couple of wide open gaps to fill. You know, we have a gap potentially up to about 480 that we could go to now on this momentum, followed by about $498 to $500, and then we have that high at about 510. So if we start gaining momentum, don't be surprised if UNH gets to these different targets. And we have Tencent, TCEHY, and I know a lot of you guys don't like the Chinese stocks, but for me, if charts look decent, we're looking like we're breaking out, I'm going to trade them. And I'm not saying, oh, I don't like Chinese stocks. I have money in Alibaba now as a long-term investment, right? And I'm looking at Tencent's chart. It looks pretty good. You know, it's breaking out of the moving averages. It's currently up 4.5% today. And we have JD up 10% today. The Chinese stocks in general, what's Alibaba doing? Baba's up 3%. So a lot of Chinese stocks are killing it. And I'm thinking if Tencent clears $60 per share, well, it's actually already above 60. If we clear $61 per share, which has been resistance, you guys can see pretty much since the middle towards the end and more towards the end of November. If we break 61, there's a wide open gap to $65 on Tencent, which was the high from the middle of November. That's the next gap it could fill. And then from 65, we're talking 68.70, which was the high point from the beginning of September. So this is slowly breaking out of the downwards trend line resistance here. watch out, guys. Watch out. We could get more upside. And the last one for today is none other than DWAC, ticker symbol DWAC. And this stock, full disclosure, is very risky. There's not much fundamentally backing it. It's just simply a hype stock, hype, SPAC, whatever you want to call it. It's trading off hype and momentum. That's what it is. And as of now, it is up. Excuse me, guys, 13%. It is up over $7. And if I zoom in a bit, you guys can see that it's clearly in an ascending triangle, and we're clearly testing resistance now at about $65-70 per share. That's been a sell zone over the past couple of weeks. A couple of days ago, we sold off in the mid-60s, back down to about 51. And back in the beginning of December, we did the same thing. We had $68-70. We sold down to about 47, and now we're running again. So what that's telling me is if we break above, let's say $70, even 65, let me put two alerts. One at 65, market is at or above, and then I'll do one at 67. If we break these levels, or not 67, 70, if we break these levels, guys, I'm telling you, this might gain momentum to the next big point of resistance. The next gap to fill would be about $80 per share. And from 80, we might go back over 100. But I don't want to say that. I don't want to just say, oh, momentum's definitely going to build up again, because this is a stock or a SPAC that doesn't have much fundamentally backing it. But if it gains momentum, it could go crazy. So we'll see how it ends up going down, guys. So that's pretty much it. The Fed kind of helped the market today. Powell, he sounded a bit more dovish, and a lot of stocks did very well. Hope you guys did have a great day. If you did, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you did, and make sure to hit the like button. If you guys found value in the video, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and join my Patreon. If you want all my buys, sells, call outs, morning update videos, more access to me throughout the day, plus more. All of that's on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. That's stocksurfest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 2 stocks from Webull and your $50 from M1 Finance. All that free money, guys, is linked down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which I did make a video earlier today, guys. If you saw it, going over a stock that's down over 50%. We broke that stock down a bit more in depth. Go check it out. I'll pop it up here. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there. Peace out, guys.